Hey guys, it's Stephenie Fitt from fitbodies.com, here to answer one of your questions. I get actually lots of questions from you guys about random stuff, but this one I thought was worth answering publicly to everybody, and it's about my coffee drinking habits. What kind of coffee do I drink? Do I drink coffee? How often do I drink it? And so forth. So in the spirit of transparency, I just want to share with you that I'm a newbie to the coffee scene. I was raised Mormon, and I practiced Mormonism until about 4 years ago. And part of that is they abstain from coffee and a lot of other things. But I would, have the occasional mocha chip ice cream. I thought I was being a little naughty. Loved the smell of the coffee aisle at the grocery store, but really did not have any exposure to coffee for up until about 4 years ago. So just know that with everything that I share on my channel here, that I'm open to learning more. And I'm a newbie. I pride myself in just being a forever learner. There's always something more to learn. Never the expert, always the learner. And so please just hear what I do and apply what works for you in your life. And maybe you have something you could add. Just comment below if you've got something that works for you. It's something that can help me experience this better. So first of all, I just have to say, why did I miss this all these years? I love coffee. I crave it like I crave chocolate. It is the most delicious, most satisfying, amazing thing. I am just grateful that it's in my life. So I drink cold brew. I know that some of you are coffee connoisseurs, and there's these special doopy-doo kind of coffees that you like. I'm really simple. I am really simple. I brew my own cold brew at home, and I just have a simple way of doing it. You might know better. You can share that as well. So let me just show you what I do real quick. First of all, the coffee beans that we use, and again, I'm not a coffee snob. I go with what I can get in bulk, inexpensively, organic. I get this at Costco. I'm not tied to any one brand. We just are liking this lately. But whatever coffee beans you like, we get the whole bean, hand roasted, it says, whatever that means. And I fill up my grinder just to the top. And I'm not going to demo. I figure you know how to grind coffee. But I just fill it to the top and grind it up nice and fine. And then I add the grounds. You can see the one we're using right now is kind of like, and again, I'm not tied to any one brand. You can go on Amazon or go to a local home center and find a cold brew type system that you feel is affordable and works best for you. We've got I'll show you the 3 different ones we have. Currently today, at least, we're using this one, and it's kind of like, immersing tea into water and letting it soak. Although the definition of cold brew is it's room temperature. It's not necessarily cold water, but room temperature water. And the coffee is brewed over time rather than with heat. And so in this case, it looks like kind of like a tea bag. It's mesh in this glass container. And I will say it's tough to find glass containers. I'm not perfect. Have you noticed that yet? I'm not perfect. Big surprise. But this happens to be glass or stainless steel. But you want to avoid plastic for lots of reasons, but one of the biggest ones, as a breast cancer survivor, plastic is a hormone disruptor. So we want to avoid as much exposure to plastic as we can. It's impossible to completely avoid it, but when possible, do so. So we just grind the grounds, put them in this little basket. I keep opening and closing this. Put it in the basket, lock the lid of the basket, put the basket in, and then I fill it with purified water. And whatever kind of water you use is great. Fill it to the top, and then I let it steep overnight, usually at least 12 hours, but optimally 24 hours. And the whole point, as my understanding grows about cold brew, the whole point is that the longer the steeping, the less acidic the coffee is, the actual sweeter taste of the coffee comes out, and it is higher in antioxidants. And those are all things I'm interested in. I don't want to drink bitter coffee. I actually hear that the caffeine level is a little bit lower, which is fantastic. And I want all the antioxidants that I can get. And I don't want the acid. I'm perimenopausal, and that might be TMI for you, but I'm dealing with acid reflux that I haven't dealt with in years. And so I don't want to deal with too much more acid containing food. So it decreases the acid. Another version that we have is a cold press. And you would just pour the grounds in here, fill the water up, right directly onto the grounds, push this in, and then slowly over the day I would push this lower and lower and lower, and over 24 hours finally it'd be all the way at the bottom. And you could pour this through a coffee, what are those called? Those strainer, the actual coffee. Gosh, see, I'm a newbie. I don't even know what it's called, but you know what I'm talking about. Pour it through to strain the coffee, and I store our coffee in a glass container in the fridge, keeping it cool. Another one, check this out. This is pretty cool. This is glass. It's got a little spout, so you can keep it in the fridge and just fill your glass from there. And it's got the little fine mesh. You put the grounds in there, fill it with water, press it in. This is glass. It's heavy. Put in the little lid and let it steep. So the whole idea about cold brew, however you choose to do it, is the time factor, 12 to 24 hours. I would suggest glass or stainless steel containers, organic. Try to avoid the pesticides in the beans. And then you transfer it to a place where you can store it, grind your new beans, store it again for the next day, or steep it for the next day, and you always have a constant supply. So I've already had a cup and a half of coffee today, so I'm not going to show you. Usually I'll fill a tall glass, and this is how I drink it, and there are so many right ways, you guys, so I'm not going to tell you this is the best way to drink your coffee. Experiment and figure out. Like I said, I'm a newbie. Next week I might be doing something different. This is what I'm doing right this moment, is I drink it with heavy whipping cream. Some of you don't do dairy, don't do it. Do a version for yourself, but I just add a splash, and I don't sweeten it. I find that the cold brew is plenty sweet, but if you were to sweeten it, there's lots of ways to sweeten it. I know people use maple syrup, they use stevia, something that's low glycemic, that doesn't do a huge insulin response, so stay away from sugar and agave and stuff like that. Anyhow, and then I always drink with a straw because I want to keep these pearly whites nice and white, and coffee stains and discolors teeth. So rather than having to put in whitener or try to undo the damage, I just avoid the damage in the first place and drink it with the straw. Yeah, so that's what I have for you. I hope you learned something, and as I learn more, I will update you. I appreciate your likes and follows and subscribing, and your questions. Your questions give me ideas for new videos, so if there's something you'd like to add, or you have another question, you can reach out to me. My info's below, and follow me on my other social media channels and networks and whatnot. I look forward to keeping things up with you. I hope you have a wonderful, amazing, healthy, strong, loving day. Until next time, everybody. Peace out.